Hello everyone. Now in our soil mechanics, today we are going to see some example based on retaining wall. Now before we going to see example, in a previous video we showed that what is retaining wall. Then after we saw lateral earth pressure. Then after we saw types of lateral earth pressure, Rankine theory of earth pressure, and last is our most important theory, Coulomb wedge theory, and Riemann graphical method for active earth pressure. So first of all, what is retaining wall? So a retaining wall is a structure used for maintaining the ground surface at a different elevation on either side of it. The material retained and supported by the structure is called backfill, which may have its the surface horizontal or inclined. The position of backfill lying above a horizontal plane at the elevation of the top of the wall is called surcharge, and its inclination to the horizontal is called surcharge angle beta. The design of retaining structure required the determination of magnitude and line of action of the lateral earth pressure. The magnitude of the lateral earth pressure depends upon number of forces, such as a mode of movement of the wall, the flexibility of the wall, the properties of the soil, and the drainage condition. Now, what is lateral earth pressure? So, the pressure exerted by the earth backfill on the back of the wall is called lateral earth pressure. At the top of the wall, earth pressure is 0. At the base of the wall, pressure acting on the wall is Pa equal to Ka into gamma into H. So, the force acting on the back of the wall is equal to 1/2 into Ka into gamma into H square. So this force is equal to the area of the pressure angle. Now, as per the Rankine theory, in 1860 the lateral earth pressure depends upon the forces like mode of movement of the wall, the flexibility of the wall, the properties of soil, and the drainage condition. Then type of lateral earth pressure. So there are three types of lateral earth pressure. First is active earth pressure, passive earth pressure, and earth pressure at rest. So in active earth pressure, when the retaining wall move away from the backfill, earth pressure on the back of the side of the wall decrease and become minimum. With further movement of the wall, pressure does not decrease. This minimum pressure is known as active earth pressure. And passive earth pressure, when the retaining walls move towards the backfill, earth pressure on the back of the wall increase and become maximum. With further movement of the wall, the pressure does not increase. This maximum pressure is known as passive earth pressure. Now, earth pressure at rest, when the soil mass is not subjected to any lateral yielding or movement, the lateral earth pressure is called the earth pressure at rest. So this case occurs when the retaining wall is firmly fixed at its top and it is not allowed to rotate or move laterally. So the at rest condition is known as elastic equilibrium. Then after we saw Rankine theory of earth pressure. So Rankine considered the equilibrium of soil element within a soil mass bounded by the plane surface. The following assumptions were made by Rankine for the derivation of earth pressure. So first is the soil is homogeneous and semi-infinite. The soil is dry and cohesionless. The ground surface is a plane which may be horizontal or inclined. The back of the retaining wall is smooth and vertical. The soil element is in the state of plastic equilibrium at the verge of failure. Now, active earth pressure by Rankine theory. We shall consider the following cases of cohesionless backfill: dry or moist backfill with no surcharge, submerged backfill, backfill with uniform surcharge, backfill with sloping surcharge, inclined back and surcharge. Then after Coulomb wedge theory. So Coulomb developed a method for determination of earth pressure in which he considered the equilibrium of the sliding wedge, which is formed when the moment of the retaining wall takes place. So the following assumptions are made in the Coulomb wedge theory. The first is backfill is homogeneous, isotropic and ideally plastic material. The backfill is dry and cohesionless. The slip surface is a plane surface which passes through the heel of the wall. The wall surface is rough. The resultant earth pressure on the wall is inclined at the angle of delta to the normal to the wall, where delta is the angle of friction between the wall and the backfill. The sliding wedge itself acts as a rigid body. Then Riemann graphical method for active earth pressure. So Riemann in 1871 represent a graphical method for the location of slip plane or a rupture plane and determination of total active earth pressure according to Coulomb wedge theory. So Riemann method is based on Pamphlet solution, and hence sometimes it is known as Pamphlet's method. Now next example, the first example is compute the intensity of active and passive earth pressure at the depth 8 meter in a dry cohesion lens sand with angle of internal friction 30 degree, unit weight of 18 kilonewton meter cube. What will be the intensity of active and passive earth pressure if the water table rises to the ground level? Take saturated unit weight of sand is 22 kilonewton meter क्यूब. तो फर्स्ट इज जो गिवन डेटा है वो क्या है, हमें क्या फाइंड करना है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इंटेंसिटी एक्टिव एंड पैसिव अर्थ प्रेशर. At the depth of 8 meter in a dry cohesionless sand with angle of internal friction 30 degree and unit weight of 80 kilonewton per meter. So first of all unit weight is given, so it is 80 kilonewton per meter cube. So gamma is equal to 18 kilonewton meter cube per meter cube. It is unit weight of soil. Then internal friction, so phi is equal to 30 degree. Then after depth 8 meter in a dry cohesion sand and with angle of internal friction 30 degree. ठीक है. The height of retaining wall is 8 meter. So here first of all draw the figure is like that. This is our retaining wall. The height of the wall is 8 meter. Now हमें क्या फाइंड करना है, इंटेंसिटी ऑफ एक्टिव एंड पैसिव अर्थ प्रेशर. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कोएफिशिएंट फाइंड करना पड़ेगा. तो वी हैव इक्वेशन फॉर दैट कि ए इक्वल टू 1 माइनस साइन फाई अपन 1 प्लस साइन फाई. फाई इज अ गिवन, so 1 minus sin 30 upon 1 plus sin 30, so it is 1 by 3. Now we know that kp is equal to 1 plus sin phi upon 1 minus sin phi. kp is equal to 1 plus sin phi upon 1 minus sin phi, so it is 1 upon ka. So we already find ka, it is 1 upon 1 by 3. सो kp इज इक्वल टू 3. ठीक है. तो कोएफिशिएंट मिल गया एक्टिव एंड पैसिव अर्थ प्रेशर. के ए इक्वल टू 1 बाई 3, के पी इक्वल टू 1 बाई 3. नाउ पैसिव अर्थ प्रेशर इंटेंसिटी हमें फाइंड करना है. सो वी हैव इक्वेशन के ए गामा इंटू एच. के ए इज इक्वल टू 1 बाई 3 जो हमें फाइंड किया है, इंटू गामा इज इक्वल टू 18 इंटू 8, सो इट इज़ 48 किलोन्यूटन मीटर स्क्वायर. एंड पैसिव अर्थ प्रेशर kp equal to gamma into h, so it is 3 into 18 into 8, so 432 kilonewton per meter square. Now when backfill is submerged, अब सेकंड क्या है कि what will be intensity of active and passive earth pressure if the water table rise to the ground level. Take saturated unit weight of sand is 22 kilonewton per meter cube. क्या है, जो वाटर टेबल है वो राइज अप टू ग्राउंड लेवल. ठीक है. एट दैट टाइम हमें क्या फाइंड करना है, इंटेंसिटी ऑफ एक्टिव एंड पैसिव अर्थ प्रेशर. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल व्हेन बैकफिल इज अ सबमर्ज, ठीक है, वाटर टेबल एट ग्राउंड लेवल. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हम गामा सैचुरेट फाइंड करेंगे, गामा डैश. सो इज इक्वल टू गामा सैचुरेटेड, सो इट इज़ 22. इट इज़ given gamma saturated, it is given saturated unit weight of sand is 22 kilonewton per meter cube. So gamma dash is equal to gamma saturated minus gamma w. So 22 minus 9.81, so it is 12.19 kilonewton meter cube. Now passive earth pressure PA equal to active earth pressure PA equal to Ka into gamma dash into H. This is intensity plus gamma W into H. So it is 1 by 3 multiplied by 12.19 multiplied by 8 plus 9.1. Height of the wall is equal to 8. So it is 111 kilonewton meter square. Now passive earth pressure, so it is also Kp into gamma dash into H plus gamma W into H. So 3 multiplied by 12.19 multiplied by 8 plus 9.81 into 8. सो इट इज़ 371 किलो न्यूटन पर मीटर स्क्वायर. ठीक है, यहाँ पे जो गामा डब्ल्यू इंटू एच, ठीक है, बैकफिल इज सबमर्ज. दिस इज द कोफिशिएंट ऑफ वाटर, यूनिट वेट ऑफ वाटर इनटू हाइट, एंड दिस इज द इंटेंसिटी ऑफ द सॉइल. सो दोनों का समेशन करेंगे तो हमें मिल जाएगा टोटल प्रेशर इंटेंसिटी ऑफ एक्टिव एंड पैसिव अर्थ प्रेशर. Now next example is a retaining wall is with a vertical back 9 meter. So height of the retaining wall is 9 meter. High supported a horizontal backfill surface with a C dash equal to 0, phi dash equal to 33 degree. Neglecting all friction, calculate total active thrust on the wall. The first is water table below the base of wall, gamma equal to 16 kilonewton per meter cube. And when water table is up to 5 meter above base of the wall, gamma saturated 20 kilonewton per meter cube. So first of all given data क्या है, phi is equal to given, it is 33 degree, C is 0 because sand cohesionless soil, so C equal to 0. So coefficient of earth pressure, active coefficient of earth pressure Ka equal to 1 minus sin phi upon 1 plus sin phi. So 1 minus sin 33 degree upon 1 plus sin 33 degree, it is 2.95, 0.295. When first is water table below the base of the wall, the active pressure is equal to Ka into gamma H. We know that it is Ka equal to 0.295 multiplied by 16 multiplied by 9, so it is 42.48 kilonewton meter square. So now pressure acting at the wall, it is height of h by 3. So Pa equal to 1/2 into 42.48 into height of the wall is equal to 9. So it is 191.16 kilonewton per meter. Now water table at 5 meter above the base of the wall, so h1 equal to 4 and h2 equal to 5 meter. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल P1 फाइंड करेंगे H1 के लिए. सो इट इज़ 0.295 इंटू 16 इंटू 4, सो इट इज़ 18.88 kilonewton meter square. देन टोटल प्रेशर फाइंड करेंगे. सो 1/2 इंटू 88 इंटू 4 तो 37.76 kilonewton per meter. नाउ सेकंड अर्थ प्रेशर P2 इक्वल टू 18.88 kilonewton per meter square. सेम फाइंड आउट करेंगे, सेम होगा, हाइट सेम है. सो P2 इज इक्वल टू 18.88 इंटू 5, सो इट इज़ 94.4 kilonewton per meter. Then after P3 Ka gamma dash into H2, so 0.295 multiplied by gamma dash 20 minus 9.81 multiplied by height of the wall is equal to 5, so 15.03 kilonewton meter square. Then P3 1/2 15.03 multiplied by 5, so it is 37.57 kilonewton per meter. Now last is P4, so it is gamma W into H2, so 9.81 multiplied by 5, so it is 49.05 into 1/2 into 5, so it is 122.62 kilonewton per meter. Now total pressure is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3 plus P4, so it is 292 0.35 kilonewton per meter. So in this way we can find pressure on the retaining wall by different consideration and different point.